So the financial crisis is difficult to define, but I know it when I see it. It's a combination of many things happening at the same time. I mean, a financial crisis is usually characterized by extreme drops, declines in asset prices that are traded in asset markets. So the stock market goes down by not 10%, but maybe more like 20 or 30%, possibly more. We notice distress in the financial system, so banks refuse to lend to anybody. They're actually calling in loans to other banks. So banks are literally reducing the size of their balance sheets intentionally and possibly also unintentionally, because many banks own assets that are losing value, so they're getting a capital loss from the asset side. It could also mean that some of their creditors are asking for their money back. So when you pay off a loan, presuming that you can, you do that, and you're, by construction, reducing the size of the balance sheet. So one of the interesting things about financial crisis is that it's like going to the theater and standing up and saying, "There's a fire out there," and then, even if there's not a fire, everyone rushes to the door. And unfortunately, even if they're obeying all the regulations, there may only be 2 or 3 doors, so it's going to be very difficult for everyone to get out that door at the same time. Those who get out first will be happiest because they are safe, but the ones that come out last may get trampled, or they may burn up. So that applying that analogy to the financial markets, when a financial crisis occurs, a lot of people are trying to sell assets so they can pay off obligations that are coming due, either because their creditors are asking for it, or they feel like it's prudent to do so because they want to get out of the theater before it's too late. And as a result, prices of these assets fall even more. So we have this sort of amplification effect. Now, these are things that economists understand very well. We're basically still trying to get our heads around a model that can explain this in a robust way. Because the interesting about financial crises is that it's really difficult to call when they actually occur. It's easy to understand what's driving them, but there's a fair amount of psychology in the financial crisis. So it's really unfair to blame economists for not predicting the financial crisis. It is probably appropriate to blame economists for not pointing to the conditions that would exacerbate or make worse the crisis that ensued. And for that, I think we do receive justly a fair amount of criticism. We saw this in the case of mortgage finance in the United States. Okay, so creation of new assets, creating new ways for financial institutions to transfer risk between different institutions led to a concentration of risk. And when the bubble, we've heard the bubble is the increase of real estate prices that occurred in the United States systematically up until 2007, was driving this event, this evolution. And when someone actually says the emperor doesn't have any clothes, of course, a lot of people who are smart say it's time to get out now. And when a lot of people do that, we have the theater scenario I referred to earlier.